Just coming down Spring Street behind Kalamunda. Going to walk down to Rocky Pool and then come back a different way. I've already done the trip, I think 2 times, 3 times, different ways each time. And this is another way to get down there. Anyway, so many cars down here. Go through road at the end, and there's usually a little car park sort of at the end. Oh, there's a few people walking today. It is supposed to fine up this afternoon, which is why I'm getting out. Plenty of cars, so we'll have plenty of people wandering around the tracks, I guess. Anyway, the track starts here. Again, the start point for the walks, walking down that trail down there. A few houses around and cars you can park up there. Looks like this crowd doing an old Toyota 4Runner. Used to have one of those. As you can hear, the red-tailed black cockatoos are up in the trees there. Anyway, we'll walk down this way. I've done this part of the walk a few times before, so nothing difficult. On the way back out, this time we'll come up a little foot track that goes up between some rocks, and then should come back along the fire line down there. Alright, we'll keep going. This is the end of spring, sort of the beginning of summer, even though it's nice and cloudy and has had a bit of rain this morning. A lot of the wildflowers are still out. Like that little one there, and its little buddies here. You'll see plenty of those down through the walk trail here. There's also all sorts of other stuff popping up in the bush that I can see around here. We'll have a look as we go down the Bibbulmun track. Now, we've been down this track here before. It peters out into a little foot track over some rocks and keeps on going down the valley. We're actually going to drop in the valley there. Bibbulmun track coming down that way, and we've just come down this track from the car park. But we're going to go this way, over this little creek line, trying not to fall in. And instead of going back up the hill that way, which is the Bibbulmun track, we're going to go down the Bibbulmun track, down the hill, following it down this way. All the way to the bottom, we'll come up on a fire break, or like a road almost, and we'll follow these little signs down the hill, down this valley here. Alright, you might be able to see the foot track over the rocks there. I can hear a bit of water running over the little waterfalls here too, which is quite nice. But we're going to follow this. This is actually the Bibbulmun track, and because it's designed for hikers and that, they've put steps and things in, make it a bit easier for people carrying a pack. You can follow this all the way down to Albany if you really wanted to walk that far. Goes down through there. We'll keep going down this track. There's still a bit of water trickling over the waterfall here. It is, what, the 19th of November. So it's sort of getting warmer out here, hopefully. So this will die down and it'll stop flowing soon, feeding down the valley through there. If you're game enough, you want to cross the creek line, you can cross over that log there, but if you fall off, it's a bit of a drop. But we're going to stick to this side of the valley today. If you come down here in the middle of winter, that's got water pouring all over the place. It's really quite nice. Alright, we'll keep going. Some of the big boulders just sitting there that you will pass on the way down the track. That's the way we've come down the hill. That's the way we're going. It's a pity there's a power line running up the valley down there, but You can't help that. The other track, there is a foot track on the other side of the valley down there if you come down the other side. But this track, the Bibbulmun track, is better. Although there are patches like this where it's just a bit rocky. Most of the way down here is pretty easy. And obviously there's a rock that you can sit on and have a rest if you need to. Down past the boulders. Track's been stepped a bit, and it just continues down this little valley all the way to the bottom, and then we'll turn left. In fact, I think out of the whole track, this is probably the worst little bit just here, where it's a bit rugged. Nothing too challenging, easy for kids. Alright. Not a bad little rock up there. I reckon that'd make a good little beginner's climbing rock almost, although it's all upside down. Maybe a little abseiling rock drop off the top. Down a valley, we're nearly at the bottom. I can actually see the track, the main track, through the trees. Not too far to go actually from here, only a few hundred metres. Alright. Coming up to the main track here. If we turn right, we'll go out to a picnic area at Hummerston Road. No facilities at all there. We turn left, go past these people, we'll go down to the falls, Rocky Pool. This is the main track. It goes from, I think it's Hummerston Road, down past Rocky Pool. There are some information boards along the way if you go back towards Hummerston Road. We're actually going to walk down to the Rocky Pool, but on the way back we're going to head up through those rocks up there. There is a track up through there somewhere. You can sort of see a pretty rough track going up. It goes up to a fire break and then we'll turn left at the top, and that should take us back to the car. Little creek crossing here. Can't remember the name of this stream. If you keep going down the stream that way, you'll end up in the pool. Bibbulmun track going that way. It actually goes up top of the ridge there, over the back. Now you can actually walk that as a loop, and it comes out on Hummerston Road, or comes out near Hummerston Road, and you can walk down Hummerston Road back to your car. And obviously that's the way we came. You can in fact see just there somewhere, where there, the little track we're going to follow back up the hill there on the way out. Hopefully it's not going to rain. The radar showed it wasn't going to rain, and the Weather Bureau said it wasn't going to rain, so we'll wait and see. That is the way to go if you're going to walk all the way down to Albany or somewhere along that track. There are huts all the way along, roughly a day's walk, easy day's walk. And you can stay in a hut. Little three-sided huts they are. They're quite nice actually. Alright. Little creek crossing we're at. It's just down the bottom there, about 200 metres away. Not even that. Information board here. Jogger. You'll probably have to pause the video and have a read of that. You can hear some people down there. It sounds like they're swimming. Or is that magpies? There's a couple of people there. Don't really want to annoy them, but we'll go to the top of the falls there into the pool. and have a look. You can actually swim in that little pool there, it's quite nice. It's got a sandy bottom with bits of rocks around the edge, so I wouldn't dive in. I've been up here in summertime when it's been bone dry, haven't seen any broken bottles or anything in there, which is good. It'll be quite nice after a long walk, especially if you're doing the Bibbulmun Track. This is just before Kalamunda. You can come in here, have a nice swim, cool off before you walk the last bit up into the Kalamunda. Pity about the power lines in the background, but yeah, can't do much about those. I have flown it with a drone, so I'll throw that video in here for you to show you what it's like from the air. Alright, we've got back to this point here. You can see the little track heading up the hill. That actually goes up through the rocks up there, and then up to a fire line, or fire break if you like, on top of that hill. Haven't walked that one before, so we'll go for a wander up there and see what happens. Whew, puffed. Like I said, I haven't walked this one before. It's pretty rough and rocky on the way up. In fact, it looks like an old it's got like a little water flow down there, little stream down to the track at the bottom. Well, didn't bring my walking poles today either, so I'm sort of a bit unbalanced. But we'll make it. Rough, rocky, good fun. There you go, for the adventurous ones that want to scramble up those rocks there. Track continues up that way, but I'm going to go around the rock, take the chicken track, walk around the top. Might be a bit easier for me. You can see those clouds coming in too, might get wet. Not a bad view up the track. On the other side of that power line down there, there is a track that goes up to a dam. In fact, I think you can just see the pumping station there with the chimneys. I think it's Helena Dam. I can't remember. Can't drive in there, but you can walk in there on the foot tracks. Bibbulmun Track goes up over that hill over there. The normal walk track is along the bottom of the valley, and then it heads up this valley up here into Kalamunda. But for us, we just keep going up. At the top here there should be a like a four-wheel drive track or a bushfire track. We'll turn left at the top and walk our way back to the car park, which will be easy. But at the moment it's pretty loose, rocky type track all the way so far. Lots of quartz. There's also a lot of ironstone, little bits of ironstone in here. Like these bits. Really quite heavy, full of metal. And I'm sure if the mining companies wanted to, they'd just pay a bit of money to the government and they'll go and put a hole in the ground here and destroy everything, just like they do up north. Anyway, let's keep going up, and I'll see what's between here and the top. I was a little bit worried the track was going to make us scramble up through that rocky outcrop there, but luckily we go around it. So it's not a difficult track. I'm certainly unfit, which is why I'm puffing. It's seems to be almost easier than going out the bib track up the valley. Not as scenic though. Anyway, we'll keep going up that way. Every time you get to one of these little ridges, you can see a ridge line going down through there. Oops, down through there. Yeah, every time you get to the top of that, you think, oh great, that's the top of the hill. I can hit that 4-wheel-drive or the fire trail, walk back to the car. Every time you get to the top, it keeps going up and up. At least the track's not too bad at this stage. We must be near the top though. Can't be that far off. You can start to see the houses in the distance. I think that the other ones that are on Hummerston Road. The Bibbulmun track goes over the top of this hill. Yeah, anyway, keep going. Certainly not a hard trail. A little bit rough and rocky, but it's not too bad. Certainly need to get some more fitness up, which is why I'm doing these walks. And I do need to remember to bring my walking poles for stability. You can actually see how the rock's weathering. The heat in summer, wet and cold in winter, the rocks crack on top, slide off the face. Then that rock face there will start to weather again and crack, and it keeps going down and down. It's actually like a ridge line going up through there, a seam. Whew. Anyway, it's a good view. Finally got to the fire break. It's not actually on the very top of the ridge, probably goes up to the top of the ridge that way. Down through this little saddle in the ridge, and we're going to keep walking out that way. It's a bit like the first part of the track we walked down, quite certainly not graded or new, but easy to walk on. And obviously that the valley there, that's the one we came down on the Bibbulmun track. Rocky outcrop on the other side, you can see over there. I was going to walk to the top of that one day with my drone and fly up the valley, but there was an eagle, it has a nest over there somewhere, and it was just circling me as I was climbing up through the rocks, and I thought, well, if I launched a drone I'll never get it back. So I've never actually flown up this valley with the drone. I have over the rocky pool at the bottom. In fact, if you're walking from the car coming this way, you'll see a little bit of green tape just on the edge of the track there, and it scoots out over that little outcrop of rock there to head down to the falls. Apparently if you keep going straight, it goes right up behind Gooseberry Hill, and then you can come in the bottom and around back up below Rocky Pool. But for me, this is the way back to my car. There is the little walk trail just there. We've just come up from this track here. Walk trail there that crosses over to a rocky outcrop. That the main trail here actually goes past that rocky outcrop. So if you want to wander back through the bush, you can follow that. I'm going to follow the main track, it's a bit easier on me. This will curve up around the top and then come back down to where my car's parked. That's the track I've come up. This is the highest point of the walk, going back downhill down there. In the distance you can see a bit of silver through the trees. I think that's the roof of the house that I'm parked out the front of, in that little parking area out the front. So it's all downhill from here, which is good. As for the climb up, for those unfit people like me, had to stop a few times and just recover. It's a bit rough, rocky track at the beginning. Once you get onto this track, it's easy. I don't know whether you can see that red-tailed cockatoo, probably not. Yep, a little bit further down here there's a rocky outcrop, which is that little foot track, It comes through the forest down through here, sort of cuts a corner off. Anyway, back to the car, jump in, now I can head home. Oh, another little trail up there. So this is the recovery bit where you walk downhill, you don't have to puff as much. Overall the walk, it's probably an easy walk for a moderately fit person. A little bit tough in a few spots, especially on that way back up. I needed my walking sticks just to give me the balance more than anything else, and I would have been right all the way. So I'll have to remember to put them back in the car. Plenty to see, some good views down the valley. It's a nice little walk, I think. Anyway, back to the car and we'll head on home. Alright, back here at the car park on Spring Street. We came down the tracks down through there and we went out down the valley that way. Not a bad little walk. I'm not sure exactly how many kilometres it is. It's not too far. Be a good little kids walk to wear them out, have a swim halfway. Alright, back in the car and go and have a hot shower. Hope you enjoyed the walk if you come out and do it. Plenty of bird life around this area too, lots of cockatoos. Alright, catch us next time.